Hello friends, today we are going to deal with the topic fluid mosaic model of the plasma membrane given by the Singer and the Nicholson in 1972. So characteristics of the fluid mosaic model are as given below. So plasma membrane is permeable to lipid soluble substances but not for the water soluble substances, that is hydrophilic substances. So basically, fluid mosaic model describes about the fluidity of the plasma membrane, and so it's like arrangement in the lipid bilayer layer that may be compared with the iceberg floating in the sea of the lipid bilayer. So the different types of the movement of the plasma membrane, like fluidity of the plasma membrane is like a flexon movement, rotational movement, lateral movement, and the flip flop movement. So transport across the membrane. The cell is the most important and unique entity in nature. It has a capacity to maintain its internal environment by exchanging chemical substances with its external environment without disturbing its fundamental equilibrium. So, according to the fluid mosaic model, the plasma membrane performs a different functions like maintains intracellular physical condition for ideal cell functioning, maintains variation in the concentration of substances. It also maintains the balance between the osmotic pressure of cellular fluid and the interstitial fluid, transport of ions, small molecules, also transport of water molecules, transport of ion substances by active transport. So, osmosis may be defined as a special case of diffusion, and it is a diffusion of solvent molecules through a semi-permeable membrane from the hypotonic to the hypertonic solution. So the significance of the osmosis is given as like vital phenomenon of the plants, as the minerals and the water are absorbed by the process. Osmosis develops turbidity and the turgor pressure in the plant cell. So here is a term, the crenation means shriken or the plasmolysis, which die due to excess osmosis. So endosmosis takes place when the cell is placed in hypotonic condition and it increases the osmotic pressure as well as the turgor pressure. Example, freshwater fishes placed in the marine water. So passive transport is the transport of the molecules and ions from different substances through the membrane from a high concentration to a low concentration without the ATP consumption. So simple diffuse, it may be the thus the passive transport may be the independent movement and can be performed by following method like simple diffusion and the facilitated diffusion. So simple diffusion is the diffusion of the molecules across the membrane along the concentration gradient without involvement of a carrier protein, while the diffusion of the facilitated diffusion involves the carrier protein to transfer the molecule or ions. So diffusion of small molecules and the metabolite, and the same diffusion of liquid soluble molecules. So significance of diffusion may be the like enables the cells to receive or get rid of the certain substances or ions, separates soluble molecules and ions throughout the cytoplasm, contributes to transpiration in plants and sweating in animals, helps in the spread of fragrance from the flowers in the air, and thus attracts the pollinating agents. So in this figure, it describes the fluid mosaic model. So there is an integral protein, the peripheral protein, sugar chain glycoprotein, and the glycolipid, phosphate lipid, biomolecular lipid bilayer, and all this. So structure of the glycerophospholipid includes the hydrophilic polar head, hydrophobic non-polar tail. So these are the hydrocarbon tails. So osmosis may be defined as the three types like the exoosmosis, endosmosis, and the osmosis through diffusion. This figure shows the different types of the transport across the membrane, like extracellular space, the cytoplasm, and the lipid bilayer, in which the simple diffusion occurs. Diffusion may be through a channel protein like channel mediated diffusion, carrier mediated diffusion. The conformational changes occurs in the carrier mediated diffusion. There is an active transport in which the energy is consumed and energy ATP is required for the transport of molecules and the electrochemical gradients. So membrane protein, that is transmembrane protein, may be of the biotopic, polytopic, and the monotopic type, in which single pass transmembrane protein, multiple pass transport membrane, and integral protein. So we can mainly we can better understand through this figure, like the terms uniports, symports, and the antiports of the plasma membrane. Uniport, single transport of the molecule. Symport means in this same direction, all the and the antiport in a different direction of the carrier protein. So through a carrier protein, the molecules are transferred from the membrane through a membrane. So all about this. Keep watching. Thank you.